House. Joining us now is Congressman Keith Self, Republican from Texas. Congressman, good morning to you. I've been following your tweets all morning and all night. You seem none too pleased with the changes being made over on the Senate side. Care to share with the class on where you think things are standing right now, sir?
Well, frankly, we still don't know. Markey, as you pointed out, they're still voting. But frankly, the Senate has done no favors to this bill. And I am hearing from multiple House members that we have concerns, grave concerns over this. Markey, does the Senate have no conscience? Are we going to put all of this spending on our children, our grandchildren, in terms of the debt that it's going to grow? No, I'm not pleased.
Yeah. I know you wrote, that the House was clear, no new deficit spending. And the Senate isn't listening by adding $1 trillion to the deficit and completely ignoring House framework. You call it fiscally criminal, what's happening over there on the Senate floor right now. What happens when they send this back to you midweek?
Well, I will tell you, I'm not sure what happens, but I will tell you a lot of people are voicing concern off of the social media. And I think look, the Speaker doesn't want to ping pong back and forth between the Senate and the House. But we may have to, because if it does not meet the framework of the House that we sent over, and frankly, the House passed ours with a 1-vote margin. If it doesn't meet the framework, I'm afraid we're going to start ping-ponging back and forth between the House and the Senate, and the 4th of July will not be met.
Yeah. And before this whole process began, the GOP kind of somewhat, for the most part, seemed to be on the same page about the one big, beautiful bill, the benefits of it, what they wanted to see from it. Were you aware going into this process that the House and the Senate were this far apart on things?
Well, if I can remind you, several months ago, the senators were crowing about they were going to make the House bill better. And frankly, we looked askance at that, and with good reason, because now they are basically breaking the framework, and the bill that we expect to see will be nowhere close to the House framework. And with a 1-vote margin in the House, that is problematic.
Let me ask you about Elon Musk kind of reigniting his threats, his dissatisfaction to this bill. He's now threatening to primary Republicans who vote for the bill as he blasts the spending levels. Are you worried about his influence on this process at all, or even upcoming midterms next year?
I don't think so. Elon and the president have gone back and forth in their relationship. I think this is just another step. I know that a lot of us are looking at the green new scam, and we want to do away with it. We want a level playing field regardless of where you stand on it. We want a level playing field. We do not want to subsidize one energy over another, one method of EVs or whatever over another. So the level playing field, in my mind, is what we ought to be about, not the green new scam that is benefiting some industries at the cost of others.
Yeah, and Congressman, just before I let you go, you have a lot of Americans watching this morning who aren't living in the weeds of this 940-page package, right? They're not in the weeds of the amendments being made. But what does it mean for everyday Americans when you talk about this ping-ponging back and forth? How will this impact us in the end, sir?
Well, frankly, in the end, we've got to realize we're $37 trillion in debt, and this bill, regardless, even the House framework, does nothing to the $2 trillion that we're adding in debt every single year. So it does nothing to that. If we add more to that, we're going to race from $37 trillion to more than $50 trillion over the next 10 years. That's what we ought to be focused on. Look, the tax cuts are important to the average American family. They're important. But we also want to make sure that our children and our grandchildren are not saddled with unsustainable debt. $37 to $50 trillion in debt, that's unsustainable.
Yeah, a lot of people just watching this wondering, what does this mean for me, my wallet, my children, my family? Congressman Keith Self, thank you for giving us a few moments of your time this morning. Very much appreciated, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.